When I start running low on shrimp, I start saving the heads because even the heads work. Alright guys, something just took a whack, took off the crab I had on. So this one's a little bit larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half of it, see that, half of it in a bait bag. Now the bait bag is going to help retard the little fish from eating it up. I'm just going to keep the legs out like that and save this one for the next set. Isn't that nice? Okay, as you can see here, I got my Okuma Hawaii custom rod. I'll be using this for short casting today. I have braid backing to mono top shot, and here you can see I'm first putting my preset leader on my three-way swivel, and I'm using the crab that I just showed you. This is a sand crab. Usually I'll bring shrimp and squid or other baits with me until I can find some natural baits along the shoreline. I always try to go with the fresher baits if possible. So right here I'm putting on 40-pound fluorocarbon. This is soft steel stretchable fluorocarbon. And as you see, I'm now putting on the leader line. This is only a short 6 to 7 inch lead line. It's going to have a 3-ounce lead on it. And I'm just using 25-pound test mono because my main line is 50. This way it'd be easy to break if the lead gets caught on the bottom. This way you will not lose your rig. See, now I got everything all rigged up, and I'm going to walk it out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a sandy spot in between the reefs. So I'm looking at the reef system, and I'm just going to give it a gentle toss. And the reason why you want to give it a gentle toss is because we got a crab on the hook. We don't want the crab coming off the hook. So sometimes if I need to really oof it out there, I'll use some bait thread, and with the bait thread that'll give me a little bit more hold on fragile baits like, say, crabs or shrimps. As you can see, I'm just easing it out there. I'm not really putting a lot into the swing, and I hit the area I wanted, so I'm going to set everything back in my sand spike. Okay, now I'm working on my second rig. My second rig is another Hawaii Custom Series rod. Now this rig here, I'm going to be using the newer Cedros spinning reel. On the previous rig, I used the Blue Azores. As you can see here, I'm rigging up the same way. I'm using my 3-way swivel and putting on my leader. My leader is usually about 3.5–4 feet long. It's stretchable fluorocarbon. And on this one here, I'm going to put a shrimp tail. As you notice here, I put a shrimp tail. Again, it's a soft bait, so what I do is I use bait thread to help secure the bait on the hook. So this time I can actually oof it out there. I can put a lot more pressure on this. I can send this way out there, which I'm going to do on this one. And I'm using the same. I'm using a 3-ounce pyramid lead on this setup. So you know, the Okuma rig here gives me a lot of flexibility. I can really get a lot of distance here, and as you notice, on the first one I probably got maybe 40, maybe 45 yards on it roughly, because I really didn't want that soft of the bait to come off. But this one here, I can probably do about 60 to 80 yards out easily. but I'm still trying to get it into the sand that's in between the reef fingers. Bingo, got it there. And as you notice on this one, again, braid backing, because the braid backing has thinner line. It affords you to cast out further, but if you're in a reefy area like this, it's always good to go with a top shot or a shock leader of mono. That way you less chance of the line and braiding on the reef and losing your whole rig. So here I am, I'm putting my safety cord around my rod just in case it gets off. I'm gonna put my bell into the bell holder after I cinch everything up, and as you can see, now it's all set. Okay, I got a hit on my Cedros. It was a very small hit, so I brought it in. Well, I actually kind of dragged it in, but you can see what I got here. This is called a hawkfish. Its common name is a stocky hawkfish. Here in Hawaii, we call it po'opa'a. Now, the Chinese love this for soup. It actually goes for $20 a pound in Chinatown, believe it or not. But this is one of the best live baits around for big predator species like GT or giant Trevallies, which we call lua. And this was caught on a shrimp head, because I was running low on shrimp, so I was using the heads, and people say, oh, you can't catch anything. Look at that, I actually caught that on a shrimp head. I catch a lot of fish using shrimp heads. I just wanted to show that it works, but I was going to release the fish because it's not what I was looking for that day. So you see me here walking back to my utility beach wagon. I'm going to pull out a pair of pliers. I'm going to try to take it out safely because it swallowed the bait. I really don't want to kill the fish. I really want to let it go. As you can see here, I'm digging those pliers in. I'm trying not to hurt the fish, but normally when the hook's caught in the gills, it's almost as good as dead. But in this case, it was in the gills, but because the hook was a 2-aught, and you see me pulling it out here, it really didn't puncture the gills. I didn't see any blood, and the fish survived. So I'm gonna go toss it back into the water, and he'll live for another day. Okay, I got another hit again. This day was nothing but small fish. I was getting a lot of small fish, which is good because it shows that the next crop is going to be pretty good. That in a few months, these fish should be growing up to good marketable size. But to be a responsible fisherman, anything that's underneath legal size or a small size fish, or you have no intent of actually eating it, throw it back. This was on a Thursday, so we have a saying here, Throwback Thursdays. So normally when you go out on a Thursday, you kind of expect to throw your fish back. It seems to be that way. I don't know why, but usually when I catch fish on Thursdays, they're small. As you see here, this is a Jack Trevally. In Hawaii here, we call this a papio. As you can see here, it rang the bell, but it still was it manages itself to get hooked. This is a omilu, which is, you can see by the yellow pectoral fin on the side. So he's a baby. We're gonna throw him back. Minimum size in Hawaii is 10 inches. This was probably 6 inches or 7 inches. But small fish like that, always good to throw back. That's why we call it Throwback Thursdays. And usually when they're small like this and they're running around big schools, we call them rats, because that's what they do, is they're just going to keep eating the bait around. And sometimes it's just good to move around because these things will just keep feeding on your baits until nothing's left. And as you notice, another hit again. So, I mean, I was getting hits after hits, and I was thinking, oh my God, there's probably a school of these papios around, and I got another hit. But this was not what I expected. This was something a little bit different. So I'll bring it in, show it to you. It was one of the reasons why I went to this area. It's a sandy, flat, reefy area, inside area, and I wanted to show the the Okuma Hawaii custom rods that they're very good for catching inshore species. And this one I caught over here was actually the fish I was targeting and looking for. Even small ones like this put up a fairly decent fight. It actually, for a small one, they're pretty powerful. It took out a lot of line by the time I got there. And it's going to start coming up into the surf line here. In Hawaii, we call these o'io. They are bonefish. Bonefish are one of the strongest fighters you ever meet. They call it the gray ghost. I mean, these things will take off, and even a small one like this will take out a lot of line. I mean, it was the only decent fight I had, but it was small. I was going to throw it back, which I did. These fish, the bonefish, are called that because they have a lot of small bones in the body. So we scrape the meat here, meaning that, you know, we'll fillet it out, we'll use a spoon, scrape the soft meat to separate the bones from the meat, and the meat we use to make fish patties. But this one here is going to go back because minimum size in Hawaii is 14-inch. This was maybe around 12 inches, is a little shy, but you know, even though it can be a little bit over at times, I do let the smaller fish back because it's a good practice to do when you're out fishing. There you go, safely release. Hey, thanks a lot for watching my videos, guys. You know, it's getting colder now, days are shorter, but it's nice feeling to catch fish, see there's fish around, and to throw them back. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Bye.